Meanwhile, ODM leader Raila Odinga has expressed his disappointment over what he terms betrayal of the Saba Saba dream. Addressing the media at Nairobi's Serena Hotel after failing to go to Kamukunji grounds as promised, Odinga lamented that whereas original Saba Saba political struggles were inclusive, democratic and intergenerational, and it was not one group against entire nation, not community against community, or this age against that age. NTV senior reporter Duncan Khaemba now reports that Odinga is calling for an all-inclusive intergeneral conclave to listen to people across the divide and come up with critical reforms and changes necessary to move the country forward, which will be subjected to a referendum.
Raila Odinga, who expressed his support to Gen Z protesters on Sunday, promising to address them at the historic Kamukunji grounds, was a no-show. Instead, he showed up at the Serena Hotel.
Unfortunately, as you all know, circumstances, today there are roadblocks all over town, which has made it difficult for people to move to Kamukunji.
Speaking on the significance of Saba Saba, which remains historic and symbolic, Odinga indirectly castigated new generation protesters, the Gen Zs, accusing them of sowing seeds of discord and perpetuating divisive politics.
Saba Saba was inclusive, democratic, and intergenerational. All of them found their voice in what it stood for: a people's struggle for good governance, freedom, and equal opportunity for all. It was not one group against the entire nation. It was not community against that community, or of this age against that age. The movement stood for a peaceful and constitutional change of guard.
The seasoned politician, who is among a galaxy of multi-party heroes that championed the second liberation struggle, reminding the younger generation why on such day 35 years ago was the turning point in the country's history.
We are a better nation because Saba Saba happened. We have a duty and a responsibility to honor the men and women who dared to dream and to turn out at a time of great peril to themselves and their families.
35 years and the country is on the edge again as it grapples with a new wave of unrest and political activism.
The question we have to ask ourselves is, where do we go from here? Do we embrace chaos or a coming together of minds and a country? As a living architect of the events leading to the Saba Saba, I choose a coming together of minds and country in the interest of the country. I long fought for its progress, stability, and prosperity.
Alive to the fact that the country could be on the brink of precipice, the former Prime Minister enumerated a number of proposals as a way forward.
What is to be done? I propose an inclusive, intergenerational, national conclave to hear our people across all divides and come up with irreducible reforms and changes necessary to take the country forward. I propose that the country urgently returns to the agenda of comprehensive police reforms, focusing on enhancing accountability, transparency, and improving the police-to-people relationship. Your rogue police force that shoots people with impunity. I propose that the conclave I envisage comes up with better and sustainable ways for addressing transparency, accountability, and impunity, especially with regard to corruption, and ensuring that leaders are held accountable for their actions. The proceeds of the national dialogue be subjected to a referendum.
However, Raila Odinga's desire for a referendum might be hot air after all, owing to the fact that with less than 24 months to the next general election, the electoral agency IEBC remains without commissioners, despite falling vacant 2 years ago. Interestingly, the veteran opposition leader was only accompanied by 3 ODM MPs, George Aladwa, Junet Mohammed and Sam Atandi. Ordinarily, he would be flanked with firebrand and radical political leaders, especially from his inner sanctum. Duncan Haemba, NTV.